Are you tired of making half-hearted attempts to find yourself? Do you long for the courage to fully embrace yourself and pursue your dreams? Well, listen up, because we're about to embark on an exciting journey of finding who you are afraid to be. We'll delve deep into the fascinating world of existential psychology and brilliant minds like Jean-Paul Sartre, Søren Kierkegaard, Friedrich Nietzsche, Victor Frankl, and more. But we're not just going to explore the struggles of famous individuals who have unlocked the secrets of self-improvement. We're going to reveal 7 life-transforming habits that will revolutionize your existence. Stick around till the end, and I will reveal the most important and counterintuitive skill to thrive in life. You won't like it. And I'll even share a highly relevant critique of existentialism and how to turn it into your advantage. So buckle up and get ready for an adventure like no other. Let's get started. Step 1. Existential awareness. Kurt Cobain, the iconic musician whose music struck a chord with millions, battled inner conflicts just like many of us. His lyrics were a raw expression of the search for self. His addiction was an attempt to remove his existential pain. In Cobain's emotional melodies, we find a relatable journey. We've all questioned our identity and place in this vast universe. His music becomes our personal soundtrack, capturing our joys and sorrows. Often, in our quest to avoid discomfort, we find ourselves caught in a cycle of numbing our emotions. We turn to various distractions like food, TV, social media, excessive work, sex, or substances. We suppress negative feelings, but in doing so, we unintentionally dull our positive emotions as well. It's like wearing emotional earmuffs that block out the full spectrum of our human experience. When we numb our feelings, we lose ourselves. However, embracing existential awareness calls for the opposite of what your comfort-seeking modern ass wants you to do. Removing those earmuffs and bravely facing all feelings, both the negative and the positive. It's about saying, "Hey emotions, I see you, and I'm here to experience you fully." By allowing ourselves to be present with our emotions, even the uncomfortable ones, we open the door to personal growth and a more fulfilling life. Just like Tyler in the movie Fight Club, who initially lives an unhappy life devoid of self-awareness. He feels numb and disconnected, but as the story unfolds, he starts questioning his existence and realizes the hollowness of his life. Do you dare follow in Tyler's footsteps and take the first step of becoming aware? But how can we cultivate existential awareness in our own lives? It's about asking meaningful questions, challenging societal norms, and examining your beliefs and values. But please don't choose the violent path like Tyler. Journal, read, listen to podcasts, open yourself up to new perspectives. Be like Oprah in how you approach yourself. Oprah encourages us to explore our inner truth, peeling back layers to uncover our core essence. Well known for her journey of self-discovery, she understands that awareness is not just a fleeting concept, but a way of being. Picture it as a journey of self-exploration, like embarking on an exciting adventure. Along the way, you'll encounter obstacles, face your fears, and uncover hidden treasures about yourself. Existential awareness is like having a superpower that lets you truly know and understand yourself. It's like having a magic mirror that reveals your deepest desires, passions, and purpose. When we open up to existential awareness, we embark on a transformative journey of self-discovery and connection. We become part of something greater, transcending the boundaries of time and space to embrace our shared humanity and search for meaning. This step is the very foundation for personal growth, the cornerstone of discovering your true self. It lays the groundwork for your journey of transformation and serves as the compass that guides you toward your desired outcomes. Without this vital step, your efforts to grow and evolve would not be rooted in who you truly are. And remember, existential awareness is not about changing who you are. It's about embracing and fully embodying your true self. Which brings us to the next step. Step 2. Authenticity. Close your eyes and imagine a world where you can freely express your true, authentic self without fear or hesitation. A world where your values, beliefs, and passions shine brightly, unapologetically. We all yearn for this sense of authenticity, deep down inside. Still, anxiety might arise just thinking about standing up to the outside pressure from family and friends. Do you dare? The quote, "Knowing who you are and being brave enough to live it," beautifully captures the essence of authenticity. It serves as a guiding light, inspiring us to embrace our true selves without fear or compromise. Authenticity stands in sharp contrast to the tragedy in F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby, where Jay Gatsby creates a false identity in his pursuit of love. Gatsby thinks that his true self is not worthy of love and lacks the courage to be himself. By masking his true self and perpetuating a facade of success, Gatsby ultimately finds himself in the nightmare of no genuine connection to others. He has even lost his connection to himself. Kierkegaard saw this conformity as a way to escape the anxiety and responsibility that come with embracing our unique existence and making genuine choices. In his thought-provoking book, The Present Age, Kierkegaard vividly depicted the crowd as a faceless mass that perpetuates mediocrity, complacency, and a lack of genuine individuality. Are you part of the faceless mass? He reminded us that true fulfillment and growth lie in daring to stand apart from the crowd, embracing our unique perspectives, and making authentic choices that align with our deepest values. But let's face it, the path to being authentic can be daunting. It's like standing on the edge of a precipice, the fear of judgment and rejection creeping in. We often find ourselves trapped in the expectations of others, afraid to break free and reveal our true selves. Gatsby's story is not unique, but captures an existential struggle we all face. If you find the courage to be authentic, you might lose some family members, friends, or a job, but by not doing it, you are guaranteed to lose yourself. Is pleasing others worth losing yourself? As Rollo May aptly stated, the opposite of courage is not cowardice, it is conformity. Just as a butterfly spreads its vibrant wings, authenticity allows you to unfurl the vibrant colors of your true self, captivating those around you with your genuine beauty. By being authentic, you will attract the right people for you. But remember, authenticity is not about perfection. It's about embracing the messy, imperfect, beautiful essence of who you are. As Brené Brown wisely said, authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are. But look at Princess Diana, who grappled with anxiety and isolation within her royal role, and faced the challenge of remaining authentic in the face of overwhelming expectations in her new role as a crown princess. Her struggles remind us that authenticity can be tested in even the most privileged circumstances. So, let us resist the urge to blend in. Let us be courageous in embracing our individuality, forging our own path and shaping our lives according to our authentic selves. Let us be brave enough to love our true selves, and others will do the same. Some people might not, but the right people for your happiness will love you just as you are. Step 3. Responsibility and personal agency. Let's turn our attention to the world of superheroes and meet Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, who embodies personal growth and responsibility. He confronts the consequences of creating weapons of mass destruction, and eventually becomes a more accountable and selfless hero, using his technology for good. Tony's story reminds us of the transformative power of taking ownership of flaws and bad decisions, and embracing personal growth. Responsibility nurtures our choices and actions, and builds personal agency. This empowers us to embrace our individuality, explore our passions, and reach for the possibilities that lie within us. It allows us to bloom into our truest selves and make a meaningful impact on the world around us. The timeless play Hamlet by Shakespeare shows the tragedy of cowardice in avoiding responsibility. Prince Hamlet's inability to take decisive action and assume responsibility for his choices leads to the deaths of his loved ones, the downfall of the kingdom, and his own tragic demise. The price he pays for evading responsibility is the loss of everything he holds dear, and a deep sense of personal tragedy that reverberates throughout the play. You probably don't have a kingdom, but the play reminds us of the profound impact our actions can have on ourselves and others, urging us to reflect on the consequences of our choices. Maybe the philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre explains best why accepting our responsibilities in life is so scary. Imagine standing at a crossroad with countless paths stretching out before you. Sartre believed that we have a radical freedom to choose which path to take. He called this freedom radical because it means that we are not only free to make choices, but also fully responsible for the consequences of those choices. It is radical because it challenges the notion that our lives are predetermined or controlled by external factors. Instead, it empowers us to be the authors of our own existence, shaping our lives through the choices we make. It is a radical shift in perspective that recognizes the immense power and responsibility we have in creating our own destiny. It is frightening because you have nowhere to hide if something goes wrong. Although we all try our best to hide our personal agency in life, freedom and responsibility is so terrifying that we often avoid I sentences when we talk with others. Have you noticed? Often we say we or they when we make a decision or state an opinion. To say I choose, I think, I want is too direct in pointing to ourselves as a responsible individual. Try it in your next conversation. Use I sentences, and you will probably feel an urge to reformulate it in a way that blurs your own agency. Listen to others, they do it too, all the time. In simple terms, Sartre's message is clear. We are defined by the choices we make. Our decisions shape our lives and determine who we become. Even avoiding making a choice is a choice. You cannot escape this daunting responsibility that comes with your existence. By embracing personal agency, we have the power to create a life that aligns with our values and aspirations. So, as we dive into the next step, avoid the victim mentality of blaming your surroundings. But before we do that, I promise to tell you about the biggest shortcoming of existentialism. Critics raise valid concerns about the highly individualistic focus of existential psychology. What's the problem with that, you might ask? Because there is a tendency in our modern time, and especially in the self-help literature, to think that a person has the power to decide and fix every aspect of her life, placing sometimes unrealistic expectations on each individual. While personal agency is vital and always present, it's important to stress that relationships, economy, culture, and social structures must be taken into consideration. We need to balance our individual freedom to choose with the boundaries and complexities of our world. There are accidents, illnesses, and deaths that we cannot easily fix. If you avoid the temptation of oversimplifying your thoughts of cause and effect, you will have a huge advantage. That makes you more psychologically flexible in judging what's within your control and what's beyond what you can control. Focus on the former, and you will be better at adapting to life's ups and downs. This is a core concept in Stoicism, by the way. Step 4. Meaning and purpose. Arthur Fleck, portrayed in the film Joker, undertakes a profound quest for purpose in a society that rejects him. His descent into madness as the Joker holds a mirror to our own struggles, reminding us of the universal desire for acceptance and connection. We all have moments in our lives where we felt invisible, as if society doesn't see or understand us. It's during these times that we long for genuine connections and empathy. Moreover, Arthur's transformation forces us to question the masks we wear and the authenticity we suppress. If we don't embrace who we truly are, how can we find meaning and purpose in life? Meaning is to our psyche what oxygen is to our body. We cannot live without it. Lack of meaning and purpose can drive us mad, but the lack of it can also kickstart a journey of finding our true selves. Victor Frankl, the esteemed psychiatrist and author celebrated for his influential book, The Search for Meaning, invites us to explore the profound power of purpose and meaning. Amidst the unimaginable suffering as a prisoner in a Nazi concentration camp, he made a remarkable observation that continues to inspire and resonate with us to this day. He observed that it wasn't the physically strongest or most privileged who survived, but rather those who discovered even the smallest glimmers of purpose amidst the darkness. In the ultimate consequence, meaning can make the difference between life and death. As Frankl writes, the meaning of life is to give life meaning. He survived the horror because he found a purpose of helping his fellow prisoners. His longing to see his wife again gave survival a meaning. We may not face the same extreme circumstances as Frankl did, but we all encounter challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. By seeking out our own sources of purpose, whether it be in our relationships, work, hobbies, or personal growth, we can navigate through difficult times with resilience and hope. Similarly, the renowned artist Vincent van Gogh experienced a relentless quest for purpose. Despite enduring inner turmoil and feeling misunderstood, he poured his emotions onto canvas, creating artworks that continue to captivate and inspire. He transformed his suffering into something meaningful. As Frankl writes, those who have a why to live can bear with almost anyhow. So how do we embark on this exciting journey of finding meaning and purpose in our own lives? It all starts with some soul-searching and self-reflection. Take a moment to ask yourself, what truly matters to you? What sets your heart on fire? Maybe it's a cause you deeply care about, or an activity that brings you pure joy. How can you transform your struggles into something meaningful? Malala Yousafzai, the Nobel Peace Prize laureate, transformed her near-death experience into advocating for girls' education and empowering young women. This example holds another key for us to understand. Meaningful work isn't just about personal fulfillment. It's about leaving a positive impact on the world around us. Whether big or small, every contribution matters. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "The purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. So let your actions speak louder than words and create a ripple effect of positive change. Life is all about those meaningful connections, my friend. Surround yourself with a squad of authenticity, empathy, and resilience champions who will lift you higher than the clouds. They're the real MVPs who will inspire and ignite your journey. To nurture and strengthen those connections, engage in epic conversations, master the art of active listening, and sprinkle joy and encouragement on their journey. And remember, you are not alone in this pursuit. Others, just like you, are seeking purpose and meaningful connections. By being present, supportive, and compassionate, you have the power to create a positive ripple effect in the lives of those around you. Step 5. Embracing existential paradoxes. Imagine you're like Eleven from Stranger Things, with extraordinary abilities caught between different worlds. It's like bringing existential paradoxes to the extreme, where things feel utterly contradictory and frightening. But hey, guess what? That's actually part of being human. Existential paradoxes refer to the fact that we are free to make choices, but at the same time, we are responsible for those choices. As humans, we must create meaning through our actions and choices, but at the same time, we are born without a predetermined purpose to discover. We have to master the tension between the desire for authenticity and the pressure to conform. Our need for connection and belonging must balance the fact that we all live alone in our subjectivity that no one can ever fully grasp. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche asserted, "Hey, don't run away from these paradoxes, embrace them." We become our true self when we dare to confront the paradoxes both within us and in life. Eleven realizes that her unique powers don't have to be a burden, but can be a gift for good. By accepting her true self, even her connection to the dark side, she becomes a powerful force, a force that no one can ignore or underestimate. Nietzsche didn't settle for black and white thinking. Instead, he delved into the fascinating interplay of opposing forces. Think about it. Good and evil, reason and passion, strength and vulnerability, these paradoxes shape our very being. Nietzsche believed that by embracing the dynamic nature of existence, we unlock a greater sense of authenticity, creativity, and personal growth. Nietzsche invites us to become more of who we're afraid to be. Dare to be bold. Embrace the contradictions, uncertainties, and tensions that come your way. In doing so, you'll uncover new dimensions of your being, unlocking a path of self-discovery, growth, and transformation. Step 6. Embracing existential anxiety. Like many of us, Rue Bennett from Euphoria grapples with existential anxiety in a world full of chaos and uncertainty. She faces challenges like addiction, mental health struggles, and a sense of purposelessness. It's a tough journey, but one that holds valuable lessons if she dares to embrace it. As Franklin Roosevelt once said, "Courage isn't about being fearless, but realizing that something else is more important than fear." We often try to avoid discomfort, but it only leads to more trouble and suffering. Addictions, depression, anxiety, conflicts, and broken relationships. These are just some of the struggles we face when we run from discomfort. Getting comfortable with discomfort is the most vital skill to thrive in life. Yes, you heard it right. The key to become more of who you truly are is by increasing your ability to handle discomfort and challenging situations. I know it may not sound like the most enticing prospect, but trust me, it's a game changer. Let's talk about those moments when sadness comes knocking at your door. Instead of running away or pretending it doesn't exist, why not give it a warm welcome? Take a moment for yourself, feel every bit of that emotion, and let it wash over you. Trust me, it's in these moments of vulnerability that real breakthroughs happen. That discomfort is your ticket to incredible growth and transformation. So don't shy away from it. Give yourself repeated opportunity to experience that no anxiety, grief, anger, and brokenness will kill you. Stop running, stay with it. If you do the opposite of what your pleasure-seeking soul craves, you develop a superpower that sets you apart from the crowd. A therapist can support and guide you in this process if facing your emotions is too overwhelming. Especially if you have unresolved traumas, this step requires patience and professional guidance. Step 7. Overcome yourself. Look at Elon Musk, who challenges established industries and norms, pushing the boundaries of technology and entrepreneurship. His journey exemplifies the idea that to overcome ourselves, we must venture into the discomfort of the unknown. That requires a big yes to your visions before you know anything for certain. Do you dare? Overcoming yourself is about transcending your limitations, truly embracing personal freedom, and take wholeheartedly responsibility for your existence. It's all about surpassing the constraints and predefined identities imposed by your family, friends, and culture. It's about leaving your comfort zone and setting into action everything we have discussed in this video. It takes a lot of courage because you risk to be perceived as crazy, and you will certainly stand out. You must dive into uncertainty, knowing that you will be fully responsible for the result. Just think about the Wright brothers and the first successful motor-operated airplane, or Edison and the light bulb. All great innovation starts with a person's will to overcome her deepest fears of failure and rejection. But you don't need to become a famous inventor to overcome yourself. As Nelson Mandela wisely said, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time you fall." This notion captures the essence of self-overcoming. It involves transcending our limitations and continuously striving for personal growth, and learning to fail greatly, again and again. Winston Churchill once said, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." These skills we're exploring are not just one-time practices, they're a lifelong journey of growth and learning. The next video will give you an excellent kickstart to this journey. Taking the first step is always the hardest. Click on the next video to get the push to get started.